Have you ever promised yourself, tomorrow will be different? Tomorrow I'll start exercising. I'll stop procrastinating. I'll make that phone call. Tomorrow I'll start that business. Tomorrow I'll become more disciplined. And then tomorrow arrives, and somehow you find yourself doing exactly what you did yesterday. If you've ever experienced that, you're not alone. In fact, I'd argue you're experiencing one of the most misunderstood aspects of human behaviour, and it's called conditioning. You know, this isn't about motivation. It isn't about willpower. It's not because you're lazy. It's because most of your daily behaviours have been conditioned over years of repetition. And until you understand how conditioning works, you'll keep repeating the same behaviours, even when you desperately want to change them. Today, I want to show you why, and most importantly, how to finally break the cycle. In the previous video, we talked about something I call the execution gap. The gap between knowing what to do and doing it consistently. Today, I want to go deeper. Because if the execution gap is a symptom, conditioning is often the cause. This idea sits right at the heart of rapid change technologies. Because I don't believe most people have an information problem. I believe they have a conditioning problem. Think about your morning. When you got out of bed this morning, did you consciously decide which foot you would put on the floor first? Probably not. Did you consciously decide how to brush your teeth? The route you drove to work? The hand you picked up your coffee with? Most of these behaviours happen automatically. They run on autopilot. Now that's useful for brushing your teeth, but it's dangerous when the same thing happens with procrastination, self-doubt, avoidance, negative thinking, because those behaviours also become automatic. And once a behaviour becomes automatic, we stop questioning it. Let me share with you a story. Imagine a beautiful green field, and across that field there are two possible routes. One path has been walked for years. It's wide, it's flat, it's easy. Thousands of people have walked it. The second path barely exists. It's shorter, but it's covered in long grass. It's uneven, it's uncomfortable. Now imagine someone decides, I'm going to create a new path today. The first day it's difficult. The grass pushes back on their face. The old path still looks much easier. The second day, it's still uncomfortable. The third day, nothing much has changed. So what do most people do? They return to the old path. Not because it's better, but because it's familiar. But imagine someone kept walking on the new path every single day. Eventually, something begins to happen. The grass starts to flatten. The route becomes much easier. The new path becomes much clearer. And over time, the old path slowly begins to disappear. Your brain works exactly the same way. Every repeated thought, every repeated behaviour, every repeated emotional response, it leaves another footprint. And eventually it becomes the path your brain automatically follows. That's called conditioning. And this is why intelligent people stay stuck. They're not making the same decision every day. They're following the same pathway every day. And there's a big difference. People often tell themselves, I just need more motivation. But you don't. You need a stronger pathway. People say, I wish I had more discipline. But what you need is deliberate conditioning. One of the first principles within rapid change technology says this. People are conditioned by default, but high performers condition themselves deliberately. Let me say that again. People are conditioned by default, but high performers condition themselves deliberately. Think about that for a moment. Whether you realize it or not, something is conditioning you every single day. Your environment, the people around you, your routines, the content you consume, the conversations you have, the standards you tolerate, they're all shaping who you're becoming. So the question isn't, am I being conditioned? The question is, who is doing the conditioning? And most people leave that to chance. Elite performers don't. They deliberately choose what they read. They deliberately choose who they spend time with, what standards they reinforce, what behaviours they repeat, because they understand something most people never realize. Your future isn't created by what you do occasionally. It's created by what you repeatedly condition. Think about a boxer preparing for a world title fight. Nobody becomes champion because they feel motivated on fight night. The title isn't won under the bright lights. It's won months beforehand. Every early morning run, every round on the heavy bag, every technical drill, every sparring session, every meal, every recovery session, every difficult day when they didn't feel like training, but they trained anyway. The fight is simply the public display of private conditioning. And that's why elite performers don't rely on motivation. They rely on conditioning. But here's the interesting part. Before any condition can change, something else has to happen. And that is awareness. And that's why principle number 2 in rapid change technology says, awareness precedes change. Most people want change, but very few people want awareness. Because awareness means honesty. It means asking difficult questions. What behaviours am I repeating? What excuses do I keep making? What standards have I accepted? What conversations am I avoiding? And until you become aware, nothing really changes. So here's what I'd like you to do. For the next 7 days, don't try to change anything. Just observe. Become aware. Ask yourself, what behaviours do I keep repeating that is producing the results that I no longer want? Write it down. Observe it. And notice what happens. Notice what triggers the behaviour. Notice how you justify the behaviour when it shows up. Because once you become aware of the pattern, you have the power to interrupt it. And once you interrupt it often enough, you begin to create a brand new path. If there's one message I'd like you to remember from this video, it's this. Most behaviour has been conditioned. And what has been conditioned can be reconditioned. And that's what rapid change technologies is all about. Helping people move from default conditioning to deliberate conditioning. Because people are conditioned by default. The elite condition themselves deliberately. And lasting change doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with awareness. So if you found this video valuable, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Every week I'm going to break down another principle from rapid change technologies, showing you practical ways to close the gap between knowing what to do and consistently doing it. So before you leave this video, I'd love to hear from you. What behaviours do you keep repeating that no longer serves you? Leave your answers in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.